Hey everybody, it's Mike Young and Denise Young. You can see there's a sunset behind us. See the color? We just saw the sunset and there's still a little bit of light left. We're on the Appalachian Trail getting our daily vigorous aerobic exercise. You should get at least 12,000 steps a day. And we have an article I put together earlier using ChatGPT like I do all the time now. And everything I do is based on your suggestions. So please let us know in the comments below. This one's about celiac disease and if there's anything you can do about it. Because I think I've learned that most people think that there's nothing they can do about it. Truly, especially people that have it. And that's what they're being told by the people that they see in the sick care system. We're not giving out medical advice, but we're talking about the disease in general. And as you know from my book, Live to 150, I'll talk about that in a little bit. Everything is based on the body telling you something's wrong. So what's wrong with celiac disease, Denise? What's going on with, can we do anything?
Is it possible to reverse celiac disease and begin eating gluten foods again? Celiac disease is a non-communicable disease that affects the small intestine and is caused by an immune response to gluten, a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. The disease is characterized by inflammation and damage to the lining of the small intestine, which can lead to a malabsorption of nutrients and a range of symptoms including diarrhea, abdominal pain, and fatigue. While there is no known cure for celiac disease, recent research suggests that a plant-based diet may be able to reverse the disease in some cases.
Okay, and for me, I don't think there's a cure for it either necessarily. Everyone's different. Some people are more sensitive to other things. And, you know, there's two things going on here. Number one is you're eating some foods, I think, that your body doesn't like because you're super sensitive to certain things. And the second level is, can you actually start to eat any form of gluten when you have celiac? Because usually they say never eat any ever again. So we'll find out.
According to a study by Thomas Campbell.
Dr. Campbell, okay. You can read more. You can read more.
Not Colin Campbell, Thomas Campbell.
They're all Thomas, actually, according to Nelson. I think even Colin Campbell is Thomas, but they're all Thomases. They just differentiate their name. Yeah, but his son's named Thomas. Oh, so you keep going? You're ready?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
A plant-based diet based on whole plant foods can help reverse celiac disease. The study found that by simply exchanging unhealthy dietary patterns with a diet based on whole plant foods, individuals with celiac disease were able to improve their symptoms and reduce inflammation in the small intestine. The diet is nearly chemical-free without GMO plants that use glyphosate and without added oil, salt, and refined sugar. This diet is also gluten-free, which is important for those with celiac disease or gluten sensitivities.
Okay, I don't even necessarily know if the diet that Dr. Thomas Campbell was doing was even organic. I don't know. Maybe check the sources on this. The sources are available on our YouTube channel. There's a picture that's around the same date as this video release. It has all the text and all the hyperlinks for the sources. Also on Facebook at Mike Young on my profile.
Diet is a risk factor in a number of medically important disease states, including obesity, celiac disease, and functional gastrointestinal disorders.
All right, so also check out my book, Live to 150. It's a free resource from aPlantBasedDiet.org. And you can get some merch too while you're there. The other thing is it's free. It's not only is it free, but it's totally zero waste. So it's only available online. It's liveto150.org. And that's the book where I talk about basically the concept of balance and diseases kind of being your check engine light, which just means you need to just be a little more careful with things. And in the case of here, celiacs, I don't necessarily know if you have to eliminate gluten for the rest of your life, if it's fully organic and chemical free, better than organic chemical free.
The Pegan diet, it's not pagan, P-A-G-A-N, is P-E-G-A-N.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Which emphasizes natural and whole foods, is a good option for those with celiac disease. The Pegan diet is a combination of the paleo and vegan diets, and it emphasizes natural and whole foods, so people should avoid refined and processed foods. The plant-based diet can reverse celiac disease is not widely known in the celiac community, but it is gaining popularity. The diet is mainly dismissed as untrue by the medical community, but there is growing evidence to support its effectiveness. The diet is based on the idea that the immune system can be reset by removing the triggers that cause inflammation in the small intestine.
So those triggers could be gluten. That could be one thing, which I think everyone agrees on. But you also have to eat real whole foods that don't have chemicals. And the other thing is if you eat gluten that has no chemicals and that's organic, that may not be a trigger for celiacs, I guess, in the language that they're using. Does that make sense?
I'm not
Fully
really paying attention to the reading. It's dark out, and
Okay.
I'm trying not to trip and fall, and
So-
I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, so fully organic wheat or gluten foods, gluten-containing foods, fully organic, chemical-free may not be a trigger for celiacs. That's what I'm trying to say. May not.
By eating only organic whole plant foods without processed food and without added oil, salt, and refined sugar, individuals with celiac disease can begin to heal their gut and reduce inflammation. Outside of this mentioned diet change, there is no other known way to reverse celiac disease. In the normal
Progression?
prognosis given to
Prognosis,
people with
yeah.
celiac disease, it is that they will need to follow a strict gluten-free diet for the rest of their lives. However, recent research suggests that a plant-based diet may be able to reverse the disease in some cases. In conclusion, celiac disease is a non-communicable disease that affects the small intestine and is caused by an immune response to gluten. While there is no known cure for celiac disease, recent research suggests that a plant-based diet may be able to reverse the disease in some cases.
And a lot of this is based on your compliance. Even if someone says they're eating something, like we know, every doctor says that everyone who comes into them eats salads, right? I mean, people don't tell the truth, unfortunately. And even if it's their best intention to comply, they don't. Because the world is full of a bunch of food-like products, as I described in my book. And it's so hard to do, right, Denise? I mean, if you're going to eat mostly whole plants, non-processed, no oils, no added salts, and totally organic and chemical-free, because like I said, non-organic gluten may be the trigger for celiacs. Fully organic and chemical-free gluten may not be a trigger at all. It hasn't really been considered, hasn't been studied, but it's definitely a possibility. And I think this article with the sources that are cited just kind of highlights maybe that is a possibility, you know?
I haven't reached the end of the article.
Oh, I thought you were done, sorry.
The diet is based on whole plant foods, is nearly chemical-free, without GMO plants that use glyphosate, and without added oil, salt, and refined sugar. The diet is also gluten-free, which is important for those with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity.
Is it rock-free?
I stepped on a hole.
Okay. Damn Appalachian Trail.
This diet is gluten-free. It's important for those with celiac disease or gluten sensitivities. The plant-based diet can reverse celiac disease. It's not widely known in the celiac community, but is gaining popularity. The diet is mainly dismissed as untrue by the medical community, but there is growing evidence to support its effectiveness. So, we usually don't find organic pineapple, so that wouldn't qualify on this.
Well, it doesn't, okay, just because it's not an organic pineapple doesn't mean you're spraying glyphosate around.
Yeah.
Okay, so this, because the wheat, as we've learned more recently, is a desiccant, right? It's not even used on gluten-containing foods that are grown. It's not used early on, it's used very late so that mold won't grow on those products as a desiccant, so it's even more toxic to people.
Yeah.
And I of course, my body would probably react to that too if I was eating it all the time. Actually, it has. I have a gluten sensitivity. I don't think I ever have full-blown celiacs, but absolutely a gluten sensitivity. I talk about that in the book as well. And that's because of glyphosate. That's why. Because they use it late in the growing process. Well, what do you think, Denise? I mean, it's like this is like another autoimmune disease, I guess, right? We didn't talk about it as autoimmune in the article, but
No.
it's the body trying to protect itself by telling you, don't do that. Don't give me that.
Yeah, we've said a long time ago that it's probably actually a glyphosate sensitivity.
Yep. So, okay, let us know your thoughts in the comments, please. Please give us a thumbs up. It helps us with the algorithm. Also, subscribe if you don't already. And we should hopefully be able to make it down this mountain before it gets dark. We have our lights on our phones, which we're going to turn on in a minute. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you in the next video. Make sure you get your steps, and be sure you're walking and moving when you're listening to this, please. Bye.
Bye.